Hello traders, so I am back. It was a wonderful experience with Al Brooks and his team in Orlando. Learned a lot of new things. Had the opportunity to live trade with Al Brooks, and it was overall a wonderful and a great experience. Right. So let us see what happened in the markets today. Let's switch over to the 5 minutes chart, and let's look at the RTH session. So right at the beginning, we started here and we went up to the all-time high that we created overnight, and then we started dropping. So there was a scalp here which we scalped as it closed above the bar one. We entered at the top of bar two, and we scalped at bar three, right? So that was the first scalp. I was not very confident that it will break the Globex high and the new all-time high that it has established, and it will keep going up. So we just scalped there. This next was let me bring in the bar count here so it will be easier to explain. So we shorted below bar 4, and our exit was again at the 20 EMA because that was below the close of yesterday as well, and so we scalped here. I did not participate in this long because I was interested in getting long above this. And then this was our first entry short. Still, we bounced from here. And if you see that every time it has bounced above the 20 EMA or from the 20 EMA, you will see we are not getting a strong bullish bar. So that is telling me that once we drop below 20 EMA, we will have a good drop downwards, right? And our target was somewhere close to the low of this bar. This was the biggest bar that we had, and the low of that was our target. So we shorted below this candle, below bar number 17. We shorted here. I knew that bar number 18 is coming and there may be a reversal attempt. So when I shorted below bar number 17, I did not keep a wide stop loss. I kept my stop loss right above bar number 17, and then we got all the way down. I took some profit in this area because this was the bear or the bull gap that we had here. So I took some profit at the low of this, and then I held on to get on to the low of bar 77 from yesterday. So that was one short trade that we took. On the upside, we had this signal bar again. This was H1. This was the second entry long. We went above this, and at this point of time, we scalped at the 50% of the day. So if you see at this point of time, this was the 50% line. We came out of our longs here, and once we came out of the longs here, if you see, this was again happening right at the midpoint of the day. This was the first entry short. We tried to go up again. This was the second entry short. We shorted here, and I came out at 5352, which was the low of the day again, right? And then it was this bar tried to come down. I was thinking that it may come down and hit the bottom of this. It did not. It just stopped right here. So this was the other support that we had, right? This was the other support. We stopped right here, and then we started going back up. I did not trade this candle, but when this candle happened, I was thinking that okay, maybe a bull gap will be formed, and exactly that happened. We had a nice bull gap form here at the bottom. When we had this nice bull gap form here and it got retested so many times, we actually went long above this and above candle number 62, and we again scalped out at the midpoint of the day. So now this was a big dump up, big dump again, and we were going up again. So this already told me that we are creating a TR, and there is a high possibility that we will come and hit this trend line that we had. Actually, the trend line was a little different earlier. This was our trend line. So when we started scalping from here, we went long above 62, and since the trend line crossed, we went above the trend line. So bar 65 went pretty much above the trend line. We went above the previous high, but as soon as bar 66 formed, I again came out below bar 66, right? Because this was already telling me that okay, this is the high of the TR. There is no point in holding on. There may not be any breakout today considering that we have been in a downtrend most of the day. So if you see the first 27 bars, we were in a downtrend. The next 27 bars was actually a TR. We started here, we came down here, we went back up again here. So this was kind of a doji that formed on the hourly bar for these 27 bars, and then we came down again, we went back up again, and so this was the high of the TR, which I consider to be the high of the TR. And as soon as I saw a rejection coming here, I came out. It was already 245, so I did not enter any more trades today. So this was the expectation that we had in the morning. In our call, we discussed that as long as we do not cross above the Globex high, which was the new all-time high for today, we are not going very far up. So that was the kind of understanding that we had. And based on that, we were thinking that, okay, we had a very good bull run, right? If we look at the 1 hour chart here, we had this whole bull run starting yesterday, and so many bull bars. I was pretty sure that it is not going to be a bearish trend today. Or even if it's a bearish trend, it is not going to go very far below, and that is what happened. And based on our expectations, we actually got the trading range. And when this candle happened on the hourly chart, when this candle happened, it became pretty sure that we are going to stay in this trading range for the day, and then things will start moving in whatever direction. If it breaks out, if the trading range breaks out, then we will see. But we kept on in the trading range. If you see, this was the first entry low. We did not go above. This was the second entry low, but the second entry low, this bar was not a strong bearish bar on the hourly chart. And if you do not have a strong bearish bar on the hourly chart, there is no point in trying to sell here, right? And it went back up, it went above the trend line, and we are somewhere here. So there is a high possibility that in the evening hour we will see, or in the London session we will see a touch of the Globex high again, the one that we had today, which is the new all-time high, and it may actually break through as well. So this is not a bearish case yet, right? So there's nothing bearish about it. This was just you can look at it like it's a bull flag here, and we are trying to go up. As soon as we cross this, we will have another leg up. Now on the 5 minutes on this chart, you will see that we have a nice bull gap here. As long as this bull gap is not completely taken out, this is the first bull gap which started the wonderful climb yesterday. As long as this bull gap is not taken out, there will I do not think there will be bears interested in doing anything. So we came down to the 5346 area today, and we kept on going up. So if I put my fibs on this leg on the hourly chart, let us be very conservative. Let us put the end of the leg here. Then we will see we just came down to the 50% of this whole move, and we started going back up again, right? And we are above the 11% line right now. And if we keep on holding it, if we go above the 67 line, which I'm considering to be the previous ATH, which broke out and then the breakout failed, so we will keep going up. Now we cannot say the breakout failed also, right? If this is the hourly candle, and the low of the candle is here, we never closed below the low of this candle, so we cannot say that the breakout has failed. So if this one broke out of the previous ATH, but the move started actually from here. We did close below this, but we did not close below this here. So on the daily chart, if we look at the 24-hour chart right now, we will see this is no way a bearish bar, right? We just came to the 50% area of this bar, and if I extend it to the absolute bottom here, if we extend it to the absolute bottom here, we will see that it was the 33%. So we are still in the upper 33% of the climb that we had yesterday. So this is no way bearish. This can come down to these levels again tomorrow during RTH, but as long as this section is not taken out, I will not be confident. Again, we have our generic support at 5334-36, so we may price may want to come down there, bears may want to come down there, and even to the lower 66%, the lower third of the whole range. But I think it will hold, and then it will start going back up again. In the meantime, if you look at today's chart, the intraday chart, if I remove the drawings here, let us look at how the gaps formed and how a trade was possible, right? So this was the first gap of the day that formed, right? This was the bearish gap that we had. Let me mark it as a major bear gap. And we came back to the bear gap. We could not hold it. We went back up again. And then we dumped down below the 20 EMA and we went all the way down. Now, what I normally see is if you notice that there will not be any strong bull gaps when this whole range is happening. Now, if you see, here, if you say that okay, a bull gap got formed here, if this is a bull gap, and we say that okay, once the bull gap is formed, it should be retested and we have a strong bull bar to go up. We never had a strong bull bar here to go up, so this bull gap was useless, and immediately it got taken out by the next candle, right? Our next bull gap happened in this area. This was our next bull gap, but then we never even closed above the bull gap and we started keep going to come down. The next one happened here. This was our next bull gap that got created right in this area. So if you see a new bull gap got created here in this area, it never came down below this. It came to the bottom of this. That is why we were thinking that it may be time to go back to the open of the day, or at least in this area, but that never happened till the end, and we scalped out at the 50% area of the day. But this bull gap held kind of. This was the first time it was formed, and based on this, we got this trade, right? Now, after that, this was the major bull gap that got created. This was the major bull gap that got created. We tried to come inside so many times, it did not happen, and finally this candle happened and we went long somewhere in this area and then scalped out at the previous high, right? So this was the trade today. And one more thing, if I wanted to show you, is this was the previous balance zone, right? Let me change the color of this so that it does not become confusing. Let me say this is the TR. So this was the middle, this was the previous balance zone that we had, and see, we came back to the same balance zone and we started just going sideways in this area. Okay, so we may look at it as a complete bull flag. If I draw a channel here, if you draw the channel here, or maybe like this, yeah, maybe like this. So this was the complete bull flag that was formed right today. And once we go above these areas, I'm pretty sure that the market is looking for a new high. This was just a sideways day after a big climb that we had. We had almost a 100-point climb, and this is what is expected after that. A few legs sideways to down, and that is what happened. However, the market is not bearish. I am saying again and again, please do not try to short the market at this point. If you are shorting, do it based on the price action. Do it based on what the candles are telling you. Do not just take random shots and expect it to work out. Look for the TRs, look for the second entry shots, and you can play it accordingly. Okay, so that is all I had for today. Again, we have restarted since I'm back, we have restarted our discussion in the morning at 8:45. The Google Meet link to that will be given in the description below. Along with that, I am creating some indicators. Let me bring that up. So this is the indicator that I'm talking about, right? This is purely a scalping indicator, and the logic is that the bulls are getting trapped or the bears are getting trapped. Like here, the bears are getting trapped, and we have an outside up bar, not exactly an outside up bar, but something that is closing above the high of the previous bar, right? And every time you see, we are just considering the body, and we are trying to get a 1:1 scalp. This was the 1:1 scalp in the morning. This was the first scalp signal that we had. The second scalp signal came here, and we got a 1:1 of that as well. And then the third scalp signal also came in, and in that process, here also we got the 1:1 of this, and we got much more from that, right? And we came out at the bottom of this candle 77 from yesterday. Along with that, there was another signal that happened here, Now if I do the body to body of this, we got 100% of this signal as well, 1:1, we got it here. Now this was now the disclaimer that comes with this indicator is that do not try to take the signals of the top of the TR if you understand that that is the TR. And when you are in a very tight trading range, that is also it is advisable that you do not try to take these signals here, right? That most of the time, if you're in a tight trading range, these will not work. So this is the trading range that we have at this point. This is the total trading range, and we will have to see how it breaks out, how it works out, and what happens once the breakout is there. If you want access to this indicator, please DM me on Discord or send me a message some other way, so that you can send me your TradingView user ID, and I will add the user ID under the indicator so that you can have access to that. So based on that, I will finish the video today here. Tomorrow morning again we will join at the early morning call, and there we go through the what has happened on the monthly, what has happened on the weekly, what has happened on the daily, the 1 hour, the 4 hour, and then the intraday charts. We mark our support and resistance lines. We will create a plan based on those support and resistance lines, and then we will take it from there. So that is all I had for today. Have a wonderful rest of the evening. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Thank you so much. Bye.